Let me tell you a story. It's spring of 2023. I'm 17 years old, sitting on a bench in my high school gym with over 50 people all staring at me. My heart starts racing, my throat goes dry, and I have no idea what to do. I was being confronted about something I was hoping my best friend would never find out, and it just so happened that he found out in front of 50 other people. Here's my best friend, 5'7", 180 pounds, and absolutely fuming at me for what he just found out. You did what? How could you? That's all he's telling me, just going on and on and on, and he is pissed. I was hoping that if I stayed silent for a couple seconds, eventually he would stop and everyone would look away and I could explain myself in private, but everyone was looking at me, waiting for what I was gonna say in response to this. I tried to think of something that was an actual decent explanation for this, but with 50 pairs of eyes on me, the best that I could come up with was,
"Look, bro, I'm sorry, but I couldn't help myself."
Immediately, my friend storms out of the gym while everyone is still watching, and I try to run after him to actually explain myself, but at this point, it's no use. He is already pissed, and there's nothing I can say that will make it right. And you're probably thinking my friend was so mad at me because I did something along the lines of stealing from him or sleeping with his girlfriend, but in reality, my friend was mad at me simply because I had made the badminton team. You see, initially, my best friend and I had tried out for the badminton team as a duo. Although we were best friends, we were completely opposite people. So naturally, we'd argue over a lot of things and really get into a lot of disagreements together, and this translated over onto the badminton court. We both wanted to play in the back, and we tried to switch rotations every couple plays where I'd go in the front, then he'd go in the back, and then switch, and it just wasn't working, and we just kept arguing and things kept going wrong. We'd argue over every single little thing and we were getting demolished by other teams because of it. We knew that we weren't going to make the team and I was fine with that. But to my surprise, at the last tryout, the coach pulled me aside and said that I could make the team as long as I was willing to play in a solo spot. The previous year, I had competed in the regional finals with a different partner, so I had a decent amount of skill and the coach knew this. He said he still wanted me on the team, but I just couldn't be playing with my best friend. Reluctantly, I said yes because I still wanted to play, but I couldn't bring myself to tell my best friend before they were announcing who made the team the next day. Eventually, my friend was able to calm down and he stopped being mad at me about the whole situation and everything went back to normal, and it was all fine in the end. And although me and my best friend never got to play an organized game of actual badminton, this experience taught me a very valuable lesson. It taught me that trying to compete in a sport with one of your friends who you don't normally play sports with is never gonna work out. Because the thing is, you're not used to each other in that environment, and if you're having a problem in your relationship, it's going to translate onto the court, and if you're having a problem on the court, it's going to translate into your relationship. It becomes this constant battle of trying to maintain something that is your friendship, that's a friendship for a decent reason, it's not sports, and trying to play sports with each other, and it's this constant pull of these two different aspects of your relationship, and it's extremely difficult to maintain. Although this story has nothing to do with being an artist, it illustrates a lesson that causes a lot of people to lose their passion for music. It is extremely hard to make money as an artist, and here's why. My name is Kobe Wallace, and I'm helping songwriters all over the world access their true creative potential by improving the rest of their lives. For the past 2.5 years, I have pretty much dedicated my entire life to music. I've spent countless hours practicing various different instruments, just trying to improve my craft. I've played over 50 live gigs, done a few studio sessions, and been playing with a lot of different bands. I've recorded and released 2 full albums, both fully self-recorded and produced, and I am currently working on a 3rd. I've also spent a lot of time learning how to make money online as a freelance musician. And spending all this time doing what I love the most in this world, one thing has always stood out very clearly to me. It's that it's hard to make money as a musician. Not only in the sense that if you put your music on Spotify, you're only going to be making 4 cents a month if you're lucky, but more in the way that it's extremely easy to lose your passion and lose your art in pursuit of trying to make money doing what you love. Much like my best friend and I would always argue on the badminton court, the business side of music and the artistic side are constantly fighting for control. If you know anything at all about business, you probably know that the primary reason behind starting a business is to solve a problem. Now, in our modern day, that's not always the case, but generally that's what a business is supposed to do. A business has some kind of product or service that they will give to people in exchange for money. If you're hungry and need some food, you go to the grocery store, buy something, boom, problem solved. If you're traveling in a new city or a new place and you need some place to stay, you can book a hotel, problem solved. If your friend decides to come over to your house and thinks it's a good time to take a fat and clogs your sewage system, call a plumber, boom, problem solved. Now, as an artist, this is where it kind of gets tricky, because if you're just getting started out with making music, you probably don't know how to actually make money with your music yet. If I were to ask you, what problem do you solve? You probably say something like,
well, I guess I help make people's day better when they listen to my music.
I mean, if you're getting a couple thousand listeners on Spotify already, maybe, but generally speaking, that's not going to be the case if you're just getting started. Now, not only is music just a really competitive industry where a lot of people are trying to get streams and listens and trying to get their name out there, when people try to make money, they go about it all wrong. The majority of artists, at least when they're starting out, will see a certain trend or something that's getting a lot of views, or a certain style and a certain trend that's really taking off, and they try to jump on that trend and just follow that wave and try to capitalize on it. The thing is, most people have their own unique style and they have their own unique passion for music and stuff they just generally like, and they sacrifice all of that just trying to get a couple of views because they think they can make some money doing it. Now, not only is this just kind of a bad way to try and make money, it completely neglects the other side of music, which is art. You can't call yourself an artist if you don't genuinely express your own ideas and just generally pursue what you're passionate about, and all you're doing is just trying to copy the latest trend or whatever is popping off at the time just to try and make a little bit of money. I really see this present in kind of like the beat maker niche, where a lot of people are trying to make tight beats. If there's a certain type of beat that's really getting a lot of views on YouTube, a bunch of beat makers will see it like, okay, I see that, it's getting views, let me go make a copy of this, and then I'll put it on YouTube trying to sell it, just trying to get a little bit of traffic because that beat or that artist is popular. Now the thing is, I'm guessing most beat makers aren't really passionate about trying to make a Drake type beat or trying to make a Juice WRLD type beat, and they have their own unique style and stuff that they actually are genuinely passionate about, except they're just making these kind of beats for days on ends, trying to sell them just to make money. Now the thing is, if you want to maintain any kind of following or any kind of audience in the music world, you need to be authentic. Yes, you can grow faster by following a trend, and you might get lucky and get a bunch of views on one thing, but what happens to the people who follow these trends once those trends are done? Their audience disappears. They may still have followers, and that one video got a lot of views, but they don't have an audience, and the rest of their videos are getting lower each time. One of the keys to actually monetizing yourself as a musician, which we're gonna get into in a second, trust me, I know I've been kind of ranting, but just a general rule of thumb to just have success in music is just be authentic to yourself. Pretty much every artist and pretty much everyone who is successful at anything for that matter has done so because they are comfortable with being authentic to themselves. A really good example of this, and he talks about this all the time in his interviews and even in his songs, is Tyler, the Creator. No matter what stage in his career he's been at, he's always just done what he's wanted to do at the time, and it's paid off tremendously for him. Whether you love him or you hate him, either way, you're going to be talking about him because he's being different than everyone is in the mainstream. He is genuine and he is unapologetic in the fact that he's just going to be himself. And his diehard fans are extremely diehard because they resonate with his message. Now, in terms of making money as an artist and a musician for that fact, there's a couple pieces of advice that I can give you. The most important thing I can tell you is get the idea that your music is going to make you money out of your head right now. I've had songs on Spotify and every single streaming platform you can think of for almost 2 years now, and I've pretty much only made $30 from both albums combined. And yes, I'm just getting started and I haven't pushed it super hard, and my first album was kind of bad, but you get the point that I'm getting at here. $30 in 2 years is absolutely nothing. Because not only is it just hard to make money from Spotify or streaming platforms, the thing is, if you want your music to make you all of your money, you're gonna lose your passion for it and you're gonna get burnt out extremely quickly. Burnout is something that a lot of musicians can face, and it can really make you want to walk away from music completely if it gets to that point. Initially, the way I planned to pursue music was actually going to university to play drums, because the first instrument that I ever picked up and the instrument that I'm actually technically the best at is drums, and I thought, okay, I want to go become a just like a really, really good drummer, and that's all I want to focus on, and go do like tours and play on cruise ships and just play live gigs all the time. And that was how I wanted to make money playing music at first. And then I started to play some gigs as a drummer, and I'm like, holy shit, this is actually really exhausting, because you got to take all your stuff out of your house, bring it to the gig, set up, play, make a little bit of money, then tear everything down, bring it all back, and like just the whole process of doing this. And then once I started playing more and more, and I'm like, this is exhausting, and I'd play like 3 times a week and then do the same the next week, and I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't imagine doing this for a living. And like just this constant process of being exhausted and going to bed late because your gig is late, then get up early the next morning because you got this thing, and like just that whole process was just so exhausting. And if I would have tried to pursue that as my career, I would have got burnt out extremely quickly, because yes, I was still passionate about it, but that passion would have eventually died. I think the single best way to start making money as a musician, at least in the beginning, is to find something to do with music that you still like, but not as much as your main thing that you like, and make money doing that. Now, I know that sounds extremely confusing, but let me explain. The way that I have made the most money by far in music is by playing drums and by playing live gigs, but not for my own music, but for other people. Where I'm from, everyone is always looking for a drummer because everyone sings and plays guitar, so a drummer is hard to come by. And I've done a lot of gigs, and I'm eager to play a lot of gigs, so naturally I get called for a lot of them. The thing is, I like to play the drums, and that's the instrument that I'm best at, but the thing is, that's not what I'm most passionate about in music. By far, my biggest passion in terms of music is writing, and it's creating, and it's producing, and just making my own music. I still spend time, and I still enjoy spending time practicing drums and learning songs and going to rehearsals and then eventually going to gigs, but it kind of just feels like this other thing that I still enjoy, and it's still music, but it's not my thing, and that's not the way that I make money. And I'm not directly trying to make all of my money through music, through songwriting. This means when I actually go to write and I get to go to work on my own music, it's extremely enjoyable and extremely refreshing. See, I've done freelance work as a rapper and a producer in the past, and it was fine at first, but eventually it got me to the point where I didn't even want to keep writing, and it just felt like this monotonous task, and I just got burnt out from writing. And when I actually wanted to go and sit down and write my own music, I was just sick of writing, because I'd spent the rest of my time writing for other people just trying to make money, and that made me not want to create my own stuff. I strongly advise you to still use your passion for music as a way to make money. Just don't use your art directly as the way that you try to monetize yourself. By doing this, you can separate the business side of music and the artistic side of music so that they conflict with each other as little as possible. If you're passionate about singing and playing guitar and writing songs like that, maybe try teaching singing or teaching guitar or just teaching in general. If you love to produce and make beats, maybe get into audio engineering, and you can do mixes for people and make money by doing that. Right now, I'm making money by helping songwriters improve their songs, and that's coming from me teaching what I've learned in writing my own songs to other people. But I'm not directly making money from my songs. I'm helping other people improve their songs, and it's still involved with songwriting and creation, but I'm not directly trying to make money through my songs. The next video that I'm going to be uploading is going to go into full detail about how I'm actually doing that and provide a lot more value for you. So just stay tuned for that. It's going to be the next video that I upload on this channel. Much like you, at least I'm guessing if you're this far in this video, that you love music more than anything in the world, and I am the exact same way. And it pains me to see so many talented musicians just completely walk away from music because they've got burnt out trying to make money at it. And trust me, it's great to make money doing what you love, and it feels awesome. Just make sure you always protect that passion that got you here in the first place. Never stop creating, my friend. I will see you in the next one. Every video has to be a plane.